right, so this is tonight's homework. It is the sheet that says, we're on the side that says 4 numbers 1 through 16, model each expression, draw algebra tiles. It looks different here because I've broken it up into a notebook, but it's the same thing. These are the problems. So let's talk about it with algebra tiles, and our goal by the time we finish is to do it without the tiles altogether. But we're going to start with those. So remember, what color would always be negative?
Red.
Red's always negative. So right here, and what I've been encouraging you to do is to sort of identify your terms. So this is 8x, so what am I going to grab first?
Blue.
Yeah, I'm going to grab 8x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whoops, 8. So there's 8x's. Now what's the next term? 2x. So since that's x's, I'm going to go ahead and do the same little circling shape. And I'm going to grab 2 more x's. 1, 2. What's my next term? So for this term, I'm going to get 2 positive y's. Sorry, I keep grabbing the wrong thing there. And what is the last term?
7 Y.
So for this one, I'm going to get 7 more of these. 1. Geez, sorry about that. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Now remember, we can't put these together. Let me just circle so you see what I'm talking about on the video. We can't put these together with these. They're separate. They're different sizes. We don't know how big x is. We don't know how big y is. They're not like terms. We can put all the x's together. How many x's do I have if I counted them all? 1, 2, 3, 4. Are there 10? So we know we have 10 x's. And we can put all the y's together. How many y's are there? 3, 9. And there are 9 positive y's. But that's all we can do. They're not like terms, so I can't do anything else with this. And what we're going to learn to do is do it without the blocks. Like we could say, all right, well, we have 8 x's. We're going to add 2 more x's. How many x's is that? 10. We have 2 y's. We're going to add 7 more y's. How many y's? 9. So that's sort of where we're going with that. I'll just undo all of this. All right, let's go on to this one right underneath it. I think it's number 3 on your sheet. We'll go back to number 2 or in slightly different order. So for this one, let's do this as x, and these are going to be our y's. So for the first term, what do I get out?
5x.
Yeah, I get out 5 x's. So I'm going to pull 5 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you need to write in your homework is just the answers for this today, because we're trying to get to do it without the box, so you don't need to draw the box. All right, and then I have 9, but what kind of x's this time? Negative. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 negatives. Then what's the next term? Positive 2 w's. So we're going to call these w's today. So I'll get 2 positives. Whoops, there we go again. 1, 2. And what's the last term? Yeah, 1 negative w. Let's put a box there too. Negative w. So we're going to get 1 negative. And what happens when we have a number plus its opposite? Yeah, it's a 0 pair. We mark it out. So let's mark out all our 0 pairs. What's left on the x's? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have negative 4x. And then let's cross out our 0 pair here. What's left on the y's? And that's the answer. Basically what we did was we took our x's and put them together. 5x minus 9x, or plus negative, is negative 4. And we took our w's and put them together. Let's do one without the tiles at all. So let's just move straight over. So, all right, there we go. So this is number 4, is that right? I don't know where number 2 went. Number 2 is here probably. All right, let's do number 2. All right, so we have 3z. So I know if I were using the tiles, I'd have 3 z's. Are there any other tiles that would be a z tile? No. What I'll do here is, since I circled this, I'm going to do a different shape here. What's another shape I could use?
Square.
Yeah, or a rectangle.
Triangle.
Positive 2x. Is there anything else that would be an x box?
Yes.
X. So we would call the two x terms, this one and this one, like terms. You can put these together because they're the same. This one's different. You can't do that. So there's nothing like this, so all I'm going to do here is write 3z, because there's nothing else like it. But I can put these two together. What's 2x plus 1x?
3x.
And since these aren't like terms, they don't have the same variable, I'm done. We're going to talk about factoring later, but for now on this, I'm done. All right, moving on to number 4. What's the first term?
-6.
Negative 6. That's a constant. That means there's no variable. Are there any other constants?
Yes.
Which one?
+9.
So I know I can put those two together. Let's go to our next term. What's the next term?
+4x.
Are there any other x terms?
Negative 2x.
Good. I like how I'm hearing you guys say negative 2x. That's right. And then I'll just use a triangle here. Are there any other t terms?
Negative 2t.
So I can put together our two constants. What's negative 6 plus 9?
3.
3. And as we're doing these, if you're still wanting to check your integer stuff with the calculator, but feel free to check these with the calculator as you're doing them if you're doing them on your own for now. Negative 6 plus 9 is 3, so we're done with those. Now we'll put our two x terms. What's the other one we put in a box?
Negative 2x.
If I have 4 x's and someone takes 2 x's away, how many x's?
2 x's.
And I'm crossing my out as I do. And I have 6 t's, and then someone takes 2 of my t's. How many t's do I have left?
4 t's.
Any questions? All right. Number 5.
Yes.
This is the homework, yes. All right, what's my first term? What's my first term?
-3.
Are there any other terms that are constants?
Yeah, +11.
Yep.
That's it.
All right, and then I have a 3x. Any other x terms?
5x.
5x? Ah, negative 5x, yep. And then we have a negative 2k. Any other k terms?
Yeah, negative k.
And how many is that?
1.
Negative 3 plus 11 is
9. Positive.
positive 9. 3x plus negative 5x is?
Negative 2x.
Yeah, since it's negative, we put in minus. And then negative 2k plus negative 1k is?
Negative 3k.
Negative 3k. Once again, if you're forgetting how to add negative 2 plus negative 1, most of you got that, but if check it on a calculator now, let's not miss these because you're forgetting your integer rules. We're at 9 minutes on our recording, so remember, it cuts off at 15. At that point, you can stop. You don't need to do any more if you're at home. We're going to get as far as we can in that amount of time anyways. So 9x, any other x terms?
Negative
Okay. Any other constants?
Negative 12 and positive.
Okay. So what is 9x plus negative 9x?
0.
0. What's negative 12 plus 12?
0.
So the answer is
0.
0. All right, moving on.
We're doing front and back.
Yeah. All right, now we're on the back, and I really like these questions. I'm not going to answer them now because we don't have time. I want to get to these, but I may have you answer these in class. So let's look at this one, number 9 here. All right, what these do is they test you really know what you're doing here. So because you really can't use the chips for this. Are there any other x terms?
Yes.
Yes. So this one actually isn't as bad as some of them. What's 1/2 of x plus 1/2 of x?
2x.
Just 1. 1/2 plus 1/2 makes 1. Is there another constant?
Yeah. Positive 1/2.
So 1/3 plus 1/2. And this is where, you feel free to calculate this by hand by finding a common denominator. Just to speed up the process, I don't mind if you use a calculator on these. Just doing 1/3 plus 1/2. And let me know what you get. Lots of people did it by hand and got 5, 6, so that's what we'll put. And you should be able to do this by hand, but I don't want the fractions to keep people from getting this wrong, so feel free for this to use a calculator until you get really good at it. Then we can practice it without a calculator with the fractions, but I don't want you to miss it because you don't get the fraction part. Let's move on to number 10. 2/3 x. Are there any other x terms?
X.
Yeah, positive. How many?
1.
All right, 3/4. Any other constants?
Negative 1/4.
All right, now let's solve it. If we have 2/3 x and we add 1 extra x, how many x's do we have?
1 and 2/3.
1 and 2/3. 3/4 plus negative 1/4. Let's see, they're different. We subtract. What do we get?
2/4. 1. 1/2. A half.
2 would be 2/4, which simplifies to equal
1/2.
1/2. And then we're done.
Yeah.
Let's try to get another one done and see. All right, let's we'll do this one. Number 14. Are there any other m terms?
Yes.
Which one?
Positive 1/4 m.
1/4 m? Are there any other y terms?
Yes.
So those are like terms. We can put those together. 3m plus 1/4 m is?
3 and 1/4 m.
All right, so we're done with those. I like to cross them out because when you get really big problems, it makes it easier to keep track of what you've done.
Plus 2.
So 2y plus 3/4 y makes?
Makes 2 and 3/4.
And then we're done. You can't do anything else because one has an m, one has a y. So basically what we're doing this whole time is we've been putting the terms of the same variable, those are like terms, together. And then we can't do anything else. And that's called simplifying. And going back to this question up here, since we have a second. Not here. Here. All right, we're almost done. Your friend is struggling to understand what it means when the directions say simplify. What that means is if you look at this, do we have just like a single number answer like you're used to from elementary school? No. Basically what simplify means is, in short terms, I'm just going to pause the video and type it. Basically when it says simplify, is make the problem as small as possible. Do everything you can, and when you can't do anything else, you stop. There's one extra step that we haven't done yet. We're going to work on factoring later. But what we do is make it as small as possible. So when it says simplify, that's what it means. And let's move this down so you can see it better. Your friend is having trouble with expressions like number 5 and number 8. He's unsure what to do about that. Let's not worry about that one. I think we've done enough for today. So don't do anything else for your homework. You just do these, and then that's enough. We may do some of these in class when I'm there to help you, but just do what I covered in the homework.